Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the House of Kayfabe. We have three of the biggest nerds in the house, and we are bringing more nerdum to you. I have with me Matt Mullins, Adam Harris, and I am, of course, the only Derek Jones that matters. You catch us on the House of Kayfabe every episode. We are here to bring to you things that the other guys just may not care much about. Collectables. I don't know if you guys know us, but we collect things. I don't know if you can tell, but we collect things. We like things to open. We like things to look at. We like to have things that other people don't have because that's just who we are. And that's what we do.
It's the nostalgia of it as well.
It is. It truly is. And what we have today, some people are going to think I'm crazy, but what I have specifically is very nostalgic to me. It's not as flashy and dramatic as what Matt presented the last time with some of the cards we had. But I have some soft spots for what I've got for you guys. What I have, again, may not be as nostalgic to others, but like Adam Harris said, I am a TNA original. I am TNA since 2002 when they first started in their weekly pay-per-view series. I would watch them religiously. I got in a lot of trouble because I bought pay-per-views when I wasn't supposed to.
Nice.
Thankfully, they were only $10 a week, so it wasn't that bad. But I have some of the 2008 TriStar Premier Series. They're not the very first set of TNA cards that come out. They're actually the third set that come out. They had the 04s, and then they had a promotional set that come out in 05. They're very limited run on those. Very hard to get a hold of. I would love to get my hands on some of those.
Whose rookie card is in those?
In the 04, you can find the CM Punk rookie card, and that's what I would like to get my hands on. I think they run for about $50 single card if you find it anywhere, and it doesn't even have to be in great condition. You find one graded at a pretty high level, you're going to hit it about $100.
So collectors out there, we call that the white whale, but in the House of Kayfabe, my great-grandmother, my actual great-great-grandmother's name was Parthenie Brown. She was a big wrestling fan, always had a dip of snuff in her mouth watching old NWA. And so I like to call the white whales the Parthenie Brown. So your Parthenie Brown would be that CM Punk, Derek Jones.
The Parthenie Brown from the 04 packs would be the CM Punk, absolutely. What I have for you today, the Parthenie Brown, is the triple autograph with Karen Angle, Kurt Angle, and AJ Styles. So that's what we're looking for today out of mine. And if you want to stay in touch with everything we're doing here on the channel, like Adam's talking about, you need to subscribe, you need to like, you need to share, tell your friends about us, turn on those notifications. That way, every time we drop a video, you will know about it first. You will be able to watch everything we do. Turn those bells on, get the whistles on your phone. Everything we do matters, and we're only going up from here. We've got big things in the near future for the House of Kayfabe.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for you guys to be fully immersed here in the House of Kayfabe. So I've got some 08 Impacts, TNA Impact, not just Impact. When it was still TNA, and Impact was the subset show from the Impact Zone in Orlando.
Oh, wow. Good call. So would that have been on Spike, TNN, or was this pay-per-view era?
These would have been on Spike from 08 because I actually went to the Impact Zone in 09.
Oh, cool.
So
of course you did, man.
Of course I did. That's right. Oh, so the whole bottom of my pack has opened just from trying to pull this flap.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm trying to open up the top, and the bottom of the pack gave out on me.
Interesting. Okay. That must be the glue.
Yeah, the glue.
You didn't gimmick it.
No, I didn't. I should have. Probably worked out a little better for me.
All right.
So the very first card is Shark Boy.
Nice.
Hey.
Very nice.
I'm a big fan of Shark Boy. I thought this was the greatest parody wrestler ever. If you're not familiar with Shark Boy and you're a Steve Austin fan, you need to become familiar with Shark Boy.
Yeah. I love Shark Boy. I love this year in TNA was fun for me to watch.
Yeah. So card number 2, we're looking at Karen
Angle. Okay. What was her deal in TNA? I didn't watch at the time. Like, was she a manager?
So she was Kurt's valet. She was the manager for a little while. And the great thing about this is probably one of the last forms of documentation that has her name as Karen Angle, because at the end of 08, they were getting a divorce, and then into 09, she's going to become Karen Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like legit, right? Like
yeah, that's 100%. Like she's Karen Jarrett now.
Shoot.
Number 3, you have Mr. Jeremy Borash.
Wow.
Don't know, and we're talking about Matt Hardy, but for those of you that don't know, Jeremy Borash is one of the most integral parts of the broken Matt Hardy character. He is the pilot of Vanguard. I mean, he does most of the producing for the broken character.
Yeah, he was director producer on that part of TNA history that we all revere as being some of the highlights of that entire company's history.
That's a cool card. I like pulling a Borash card.
Might be a rookie of Borash, actually. I mean, where else would he be?
Probably is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the cool thing about these TriStar cards is they come out with some interesting spin on cards. We're looking at some of the ones you had, but one of the ones that I just pulled is called a Then and Now. And it essentially it finds the younger photos of like the childhood photos of some of these wrestlers and compares them then and now. And we have one Mr. Scott Steiner.
Ooh.
You've got Little Baby Not So Pump and Big Papa Pump.
Big Papa has no sympathy for young Scott Steiner.
None whatsoever.
No sympathy.
I have one of those. I can't remember who it is. I want to say did Alex Shelley have a run in TNA? I want to say. Well, I think I have an Alex Shelley of the Then and Now.
Speaking of, my last card out of that pack is your Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
There you go. Sabin is on Ring of Honor now, right?
He is working Ring of Honor. I think he's done a couple appearances again for Impact here not long ago. But
okay, yeah. Nice.
He's working Ring of Honor.
You're going to go ahead and do another pack, right?
Oh, I'm going to go ahead and do another pack. Yeah,
baby. Baby. Let's do it.
I could open. I'm going to try not to let these fall out of the bottom.
On a future episode, we'll do these 2011s. These are already 10 years old, which is hard to believe. And we'll open these on a future episode. But look at that on the front. I mean, in 2011, this is what TNA was going for, man. The Signature Series. This has Spike on the back as well.
And the Partheni Brown out of that has the 3 individuals on the front of that card as a triple autograph, and I think it runs for like $500.
Ric Flair.
Wow.
Ric Flair, currently canceled. Hulk Hogan, coming back from being canceled. And Sting, still appearing on Wednesday nights.
Sting's never been canceled.
Never will Sting be canceled.
What an interesting time, though, too, when Hogan came to Impact in that day. Yeah. Go ahead, Derek.
So, first card you pulled out of this is your TNA Women's Championship match. You've got Awesome Kong versus Gail Kim. So,
nice.
One of the high-profile cards you can pull out of this series of TNA cards is a Gail Kim card, a Gail Kim autograph as her first run as the TNA Women's Champion because she was the first Knockouts champion. And I think it runs for somewhere between $50 and $100.
Okay.
And when she autographed it, she actually inscribed it as first Knockouts champion.
Nice.
So
smart.
There's not a whole lot of those with that inscription on it. So they run a little bit more rare than some of the other autos.
I consider myself a collector of the female athletes, Derek. So I might get in your DMs after this, see what you want for that card right there.
This here.
Yeah, I like Awesome Kong, dude, and Gail Kim. And is this what, recently it came to light that Dutch Mantel was booking the women's division, right? Like, would this have been around that time?
Yes, it would have. He pretty much.
No wonder they were having great matches.
Yeah, they had a great roster at that time. To me, I think personally, Gail Kim is the greatest women's wrestler there's ever been. That's just my personal preference. I mean, she was fantastic. Yeah. And she carried that division. She elevated every woman that was there that was just either getting into the business, trying to make something of themselves. Man, she made all of them look good.
Yep.
Yeah, you could argue that she's one of the best for sure.
So, keeping with that theme, here's another knockout. One Miss Tracy Brooks.
Okay. I'm not familiar with Tracy Brooks.
Tracy Brooks is Kazarian's wife.
Okay.
I spent some time with Tracy in Princeton, West Virginia.
Shut up.
She went to the bar, was called Cheers. ODB was there.
Was this when TNA was in Beckley, obviously?
It was in Bluefield at the Brushfork Armory.
Wow, cool.
Brushfork Armory. And we invited the wrestlers to go to Cheers, and they all came. And we
I
shot.
bet that was a tough. You really had to twist their arms to go to the bar.
Yeah, we shot pool. Man, it was great. Lollipop, which was also I'm pretty sure she was a Nitro girl, and then came over. Yep, Lollipop, ODB, and Tracy Brooks. And I've got a picture somewhere. I'll find it.
Sweet.
So here is a potential rookie. I can't remember if this card came first. He's got 3 others, and I don't know which one in the run came first. I'd have to really look into it. But you have Samoa Joe in this series. Because he was around in the early days of TNA when they first started, because he was still working for Ring of Honor.
Very nice.
That's
we'll look that up and maybe update you on the next episode about that Samoa Joe there.
One Mr. Eric Young.
Okay.
Coming, and he has a Team Canada card out there, so I know this is not a rookie card, but this is a pretty nice set.
And he's one that shaped that company. I mean,
absolutely, he's an original.
Yeah, He built that company. I love some of the stuff in the X division. Going back and watching it, for all the things that social media is bad for, the memories function is awesome. Nice. And it was this last week I saw, it was 9 years ago or 10 years ago that I said the X division is going to change the face of pro wrestling. And I put it in the House of Kayfabe chat that I was like, look at that. I was supporting TNA back then.
Right. And honestly, that comment that you made, I wholeheartedly believe that it stands true to this day, because if you want to look at the shape, the frame, the prototype wrestler, they're not like what they used to be. Once the X division blew up, the entire outlook on the way we view pro wrestlers, it changed because of what they were doing.
Yeah, and AJ Styles went to the top of the game. He became the greatest wrestler of all time based on some of his best matches being in this. And Eric Young, unfortunately, his WWE run, was probably won't be heralded. But, the stuff they did was as good as it could have been, for what they gave him. But now he's back on Impact.
Yeah. So the last card in this, unfortunately, no autos were pulled out of this, but yet another knockouts card for ODB. Miss Jessie Cressler. We're actually pretty familiar with her. We've chatted a few times, and that's probably her rookie. It's got a pretty low number. It's actually 42 in the set.
I'm coming after that one too, Derek.
Buddy, listen, I've got 3 binders down here full of TNA cards like this, and that's why I talked about early on. These are very nostalgic to me, because when these cards came out, I probably put way more money in them than I ever should have. I bought countless hobby boxes, which are the big boxes of multi-pack sets. I bought a lot of the blaster boxes, which I have one here. Just digging and looking for autographs and full sets and series. So I've got the then and now cards. I've got the ink cards that shows off the wrestler tattoos. Like, there's so many. They have a set of cards for the belts. Each belt has its own card. The officials have their own cards. Like, you have cards for everybody that was involved in TNA, including some of the production crew. I've got a Terry Taylor card in there, and he was in the back. Like, there's so much that TNA did with their card set that a lot of companies were not doing, because they didn't want to let you take that peek behind the curtain.
That's a great point.
And it should have evolved everybody. Everybody should have taken this platform and said, that's the way we need to make cards.
Well, and now it's a little more common, at least for announcers and backstage personalities. Like Renee Young always had a card. Dasha has a card. I'm thinking of Kathy Kelly has some cards. Right. Charlie Caruso has some cards. So they eventually got there. But you're probably right. TNA probably got there before WWE was doing that regularly.
And I know Adam likes it, and I'm sure Derek, you too, because you're a crazy wrestling fanatic like us. Some of my favorite stuff is the collections are like the Gorilla Monsoon or the manager. I love the managing stuff. The Bobby the Brains.
Sherry.
The Sherry and Miss Elizabeth. I love that stuff. That's awesome.
I'll sell you a Jack Tunney card if you need one.
One of my absolute favorite TNA cards, that we're talking about it, is actually a James Mitchell, Father James Mitchell.
Yeah.
When he was the manager to Abyss, and he got his red suit on, just looking all menacing, and it was.
And I bet that meant a lot to him, to have a card, and probably Jeremy Borash too. At that point, they were paying their dues in the business. That was a big deal. I bet.
Yeah, man.
What were you digging around for there?
I was digging through some cards. I was looking through my TNA cards. And I found some very potential rookie cards, but I really wanted to pull out that James Mitchell.
Nice.
I love that card.
It's one of my absolute favorite cards. It's not worth anything to anybody, probably but me and James Mitchell.
Yep.
But it's such a cool card.
I bet he's got a stack of them.
Guarantee it.
Have you ever met him?
I have twice, and he is one of the sweetest human beings you'll ever meet in your life.
Cool.
And it's not what you expect when you walk up to him, because when he is at like a show or a convention, like that's what he looks like. Such a sweet guy. He truly is.
Good to hear.
Here's your rookie card. Lance Hoyt.
Wow.
Lance Archer.
I've got a few Lance Archers, man. I started grabbing his WWE things because I knew he was on AEW and kicking ass. You know, he could still have a really great career long term.
Oh, for sure. He's a legend in Japan already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rookie card from the TNA Icon series, Brutus Magnus.
Wow, cool. Very nice, Derek. That is way cool, dude. I love Nick.
I know him as Mickey James' husband, right?
Yeah.
Mr. James.
I don't know if WCW made one of this guy or not. I don't even like to talk about him, but I like that I have his card. I've got a Vince Russo.
I take back what I said about featuring the backstage guys.
Here is a true rookie, Jin Me, the Bucks.
Wow.
And I actually have their dual autograph in this book as well.
Nice. Very cool. We'll break these out when we get the AEW cards, hopefully. Oh, right. There he is.
There's your James Cornette.
Hey.
There's the God Emperor.
And this was the first series, or the first card that they come out for him. There's actually another one of him that I really like, of him holding the NWA title. And to me, just that imagery is awesome.
That's awesome. I love
this guy, you know, he was in the news not long ago, but you got a Mongo as an official.
Wow.
Steve McMichaels. He was a special enforcer for Impact.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
So he would have been he probably had some cards in like either the 98 or 99 WCWs, which I hope we'll get to.
Here's a true rookie. This is actually his rookie card. Consequences Creed, which is Xavier Woods.
Yeah, I love it.
I picked one of those up single. I don't think I have them in reach though, but I definitely grabbed a Consequence Creed.
Yeah, that's an awesome card.
And then we were talking about just some of the cool random cards that they'll throw in these packs. Well, I mean, here is an art card of Mick Foley and Jeremy Borash.
Cool. Did they do stuff on TV? What was the deal there?
The tweak and tweet connection, because Foley was a tweaker and Jeremy Borash was tweeting all their information when Twitter was getting hot and heavy.
Wow.
That's
a deep cut.
Yeah.
What? Foley was tweaking?
Yeah, man. He was.
What does that mean?
He was the tweaker. That's what he called himself. And that's when he was carrying the belt in Impact.
Huh.
Wow.
I remember, you know, I hate to say any ill will on Mick Foley because I think he is a treasure for pro wrestling fans.
But you don't hate it that much.
When he was in Impact in Beckley, West Virginia at our armory, he was, I felt like that he was on some heavy painkillers or something.
Dude, it's possible.
Because he had no personality whatsoever. And I'll never forget that he had on a fleece Winnie the Pooh vest. When we went up to me, I was taking him the Have a Nice Day book to get signed. And I was like, Mr. Foley, I'm a huge fan. You know, thank you so much for all you've given to us. You had this whole, you know, I stood in line. I had a
Sure. You've been thinking about it the whole time.
He just glazed over and he was like, all right, thank you. And just handed the book back. And I was like, why you got Winnie the Pooh on, dog?
Maybe you should have just led with that. I like your vest, and that might have perked him up.
I was more of a Piglet man or Eeyore, but whatever.
All right, guys. So Matt's giving me the DDT sign, which it means either he's going to drop me on my noggin or we've got to wrap up this episode of the House of Kayfabe. We want you to tune in each and every week. So please join us every time we crack open a pack of cards, show off our toys, or display our bright and beautiful pieces of gold behind us. For Matt Muldums, Adam Harris, I am Derek Jones. This is House Kayfabe.